Hi guys. Okay, we're going to keep plowing through. I'm going to get as much of this out as I can. Part 3 is Blinded by the Sun. We've been looking at how our vision is not accurate. It's not how we're supposed to see the world, because we typically see the world through man eyes and not spirit eyes or even God eyes. You know, I'm out of my contacts, and so I'm wearing these horrible glasses right now. And according to the doctor, I'm legally blind. Like, I can't see squat without my glasses. And so I wonder if it's like that in the spirit also. Like, if we don't have the right filter on, if we're not looking through things in the spirit, what if we're blinded? If we have our garbage and our junk in front of us, we can't see anything other than our garbage and our junk. So if we see those around us like that, and we see us like that, wonder if we see God like that. Could our baggage and our hurts and our issues affect how we see God? Absolutely. Could it affect how we interact with God? Absolutely. If it affects how we interact with our spouse and our children and our friends, why wouldn't it affect our Father who can't argue back? So, on a piece of paper, in your notes, on the back, whatever, however you want to do it, on your phone, I want you to jot down just very quickly, just like we've done before, how you see God. List 5 attributes of how you think he is, who you think he is. And so just a quick few that I just off the top of my head thought of. Angry. Do you think God's angry? Do you think he's angry all the time? So if we think he's angry, then we may never think we're good enough. Been there. Which means we may act out. Drinking, partying, hanging out with the wrong people. Why not? Do you think God is just distant? Not involved? I thought that for a very long time. Maybe he's missing, doesn't care. Yep, I was there. Because if he's not involved in my life and he's not active in my life, he doesn't see what's going on. So he doesn't care. These are, like I said, just a few that I thought of. And it's so funny because he's none of this. None of this. He's active and living and involved. It's crazy. Crazy. Like, I was just thinking about it today. Just the magnitude of the things that he does because he loves us. Some of you know, just a quick story. Some of you know that I found out this summer I have a new brother. My mom was raped when she was 17. And this was 54 years ago. So things were totally different. Society was different. The culture was different. Everything was handled different. And at the time, to be young and something like this happened, it was not favorable for her. Her family thought it was her fault. Her family ridiculed her and ostracized her. My grandmother forced her to put the baby up for adoption. and completely broke my mom. Just broke her. And she still hasn't healed. So that's where Satan stepped in. He stepped in and tried to break not just my mom, but the baby. She could have aborted him. It would not have been unheard of back then. Just so many things. That's what he does. He comes in to kill, steal, and destroy. And he did a really good job. But my God. God stepped in and took this baby and put him in the cleft of the rock, pulled him out of the home and an environment that he would not have thrived in. And he found him a home right there in my hometown, right there in the same town. Found him a family where he was the only boy. He was the youngest. He was spoiled rotten. He was loved and he was cherished. He had everything he could ever imagine. God took him out of that and put him somewhere where he was loved and protected. He allowed Mom to grow up, bring all of this together, brought her here to Van Buren so that I could have this quality time with her, to speak into her, to show her God, to introduce her to God. Not just that there is a God, but to introduce her to the person of God, the love of God, the forgiveness of God, the grace. This loving guy who, regardless of all of this stuff she's ever thought, still loves her unconditionally. And then 53 years later, brings about the technology for DNA and says, okay, now we're going to bring him back. Brings him back into the family. I have a lot of making up to do, and that's okay. I've got 53 years of love and kisses and elbows and knuckles and wrestling and everything that I could have possibly done. Because I have a new brother now. And I'll spend every day making up for every day I've missed. And so now he not only has his adoptive family and sisters and grandparents and that whole family, he now has double. Satan came in and tried to kill and steal joy and steal happiness. And God steps in and says, okay, go ahead, because I'm going to multiply it. That's what he does. That's what he does. He loves you so much. He takes your negative, whatever Satan came in and tried to twist and destroy, God comes in and multiplies. There's a verse somewhere where he says, I will take what the locust has stolen and replenish to overflow. He's so good to you and to me. Try to see life through his eyes, not through ours. How we see him, ourselves, and others should all be done through his eyes. Totally changes everything. Changes how we act, how we react, how we think. Game changer. Love you guys. Hope you have a great night.